While many of us remember where we were that day in 2001, few are as familiar with the events than those who lived in New York City, including journalist Lou Young.
Overwhelmed at once by the sheer size of the site and yet all the thousands of details you can see when you're up close. And yet your eye is drawn repeatedly to the still standing remnant of the South Tower, what remains of the skyscraper's distinctive skin, twisted and broken as it stands in the smoking ruins, an enduring symbol of our national outrage.
Young is a retired WCBS reporter. He was at Ground Zero and covered the events of that day and those that followed for years. And he joins me now. Lou, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. I mean, what a career you've had reporting in New York, but really covering 9/11, has the coverage you've done of that day has meant so much for so many New Yorkers. And just thinking about it transports so many of them back to that tragic day. What do you remember about reporting on the attacks that day?
I remember thinking that the work was a blessing because I had something to do. I had a way to expend the adrenaline. Most of us New Yorkers were just powerless. Our jobs were not happening, and we just people would just watch and wonder and try to figure out what they could do. I had a task, and that was a blessing, and it was something that I'm grateful to have had. Our station, WCBS-TV in New York, was in a unique situation because when the second tower fell, when the broadcast towers fell, everybody was knocked off the air, but only WCBS-TV had a backup generator. So it being 20 years ago, cable penetration wasn't what it is now, and we were the sole source of television for a lot of the city. So we had to go full bore on this immense, overwhelming local story, and we did it. We did 12 on, 12 off for days and weeks. I think we had one day off a week, and we just kept going. There was just so much local news to cover of this national, international event. It was overwhelming, and it still weighs with me to this day. And the other people who were there, the same thing. We talk about it. About the things that trigger us, the lengthening shadows of September, the smell of smoke, the dust, the sound of a generator, the lights, those emergency lights that the generators power. All those things can trigger very intense memories, and it's hard. It's hard.
A beautiful blue-skied September day. You know, you'll never forget how beautiful and blue the skies were that day. Lou, each year since that event, the country stops and remembers the lives lost. You've covered most of those remembrances through the years. How have you seen them evolve?
I've seen them become more predictable. I mean, there's a pattern to it, and there's a tradition that has been established. In the beginning, there was a lot of controversy over how we would remember. There was a lot of controversy over what that memorial would look like. A lot of conflict. How would you list the names? Who gets placed where? How things will be remembered? Who will read the names? Do you read all the names? Do you carry does the broadcast carry the reading of all the names? Is that the proper thing to do, or is it something else? And it's always been very sensitive. I've seen it become kind of predictable and still moving. It moves me every year, and I'm shocked at how it does. I don't like to go down there. I don't. The first year I didn't. The first year it felt haunted. It's just become part of the fabric of American society and of New York. And the thing we got to remember here is when you say never forget is that we're really talking to people who weren't there. I mean, of course, we're never going to forget. We were there. So this is a lesson for people who weren't born then, who haven't been born yet. And the remembrances we're building and the traditions we're building now are for the people who will be still observing this awful day after we're all gone.
Absolutely. And Lou, WCBS here in New York is doing a special on September 11th and how it changed the country. We have a clip from that special we want to share with our viewers now.
Down in that area, in the collapse zone, the ground is like after a volcanic eruption, a thick cushion of powder drifting like snow in some places.
For me, the job was a shield. In the first terrifying hours, it was something to keep the enormity of it all at bay.
I remember looking up, seeing the second tower, the gaping hole and the flame coming out of it, and I started down Duane Street looking for the crew, and the ground began to rumble, and we ran for a door jam, and the entire ground shook, and again the cloud of dust came again. That was very, very difficult. People crying.
In those first moments in a dangerous new world, we tried to collect ourselves. Reporter Amy Stone and I managed to find a functioning live truck, and we began.
And you can see the building collapse, and then all of a sudden it just became a big cloud of smoke, and everybody started running, and we started running, and everybody was running, and you were like being chased by a big cloud of smoke, getting darker and darker and closer and closer.
Some people were speaking out loud here, wondering if this is almost like Pearl Harbor Day. It certainly feels that way on the streets here.
Seeing that coverage now, Lou, does it take you right back? Right, I was going to ask you, tell us what you were going through at that time, because of course nobody knew exactly what was happening as you were covering this. You didn't know, would there be more attacks? Would there be more infrastructure damage? You know, you were definitely putting yourself in harm's way as you covered this story. What sort of balance were you trying to strike?
Well, to be honest with you, I hadn't even seen the towers fall. I was on my way when the first one fell, and I was too close to the second one to see it. I had to run for cover. So I didn't understand that they came down vertically. The next day I saw that. I mean, so we were literally in it, and in large part, people who were watching TV knew more about the big picture than we did. But we were focused on the impact on the city and what was happening on the ground there. So it was a very strange thing. And that reporter that was with me, Amy Stone, she was much closer with her camera person, Barry Weiss was his name, and they got separated. She didn't know where he was. And after that live shot, Barry came out of the area completely covered. He looked like a ghost. He was completely covered in white, and he had his camera gear, and he was weeping. You know, grown man weeping because of what he saw and what he experienced. And we left Barry and Amy to take care of him, and the rest of us loaded up in the truck and headed off to the mayor's news conference, which was over at the police academy. And the first question we asked is the air safe? And they said yes. So there's that.
Speaking of, yeah. Lou, have you had any health issues coming as a result of all those days you spent down there at Ground Zero?
Thank God, no. No, I'm registered, but no, nothing.
Great, great.
Some of us are lucky.
We're happy to hear it. Well, Lou Young, thank you so much for your service as a journalist and for joining us today to tell us about those harrowing days, that tragic day 20 years ago. We really appreciate it.
Tanya, thank you. And again, what I always say is this job, when people are doing this job, you never know when the unexpected is going to happen, and that can happen at any time. And you just do it. You just do the job, and that's all we were doing. We weren't doing anything that we weren't supposed to be doing. All right, take care.
Just doing the job.
Yeah.
Lou Young, thank you again. And Never Forgotten 9/11, 20 years later, streams tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern on CBSN New York. Then 8 p.m. Eastern, CBS will rebroadcast Race Against Time, the CIA and 9/11.